Good morning, DBT acolytes. This is Mike from InsightDBT, and welcome to another wonderful video. We're going to be reviewing our Wise Mind homework from our mindfulness group, and in this video, I'll be trying to give you a good example of maybe how to base and do this homework yourself. What we're going to do is we're going to be switching to Microsoft Word in a second with the handout, and we're going to be filling out the handout together. If you'd like a copy of this handout, please go to insightdbt.com, find in our tabs, homeworks, and it is uploaded there for you. It is free for everybody. All right, and away we go. All right, so this is the homework. If you guys have done DBT with me or in your own DBT studies, this Venn diagram is a classic one. It's one of the key diagrams in all of DBT. And what it is you have right over here, you have your emotion mind, you have your reasonable mind, you have your wise mind. What do these things mean? Let's just talk about it real quick. So your emotion mind, what is that? That's where all your feelings live. It's hot, it's emotional, it's impulsive, it's driven by desire, right? On the other hand, reasonable mind, right, which is a very different part of you, is thoughtful, is logical, is goal-oriented, is very task-based. Your inner computer, your inner analyst, your inner smart person, quote unquote, mind the judgment a little bit there. And so when people come to DBT, oftentimes emotion mind uh, gives you trouble because emotion mind takes over. It throws a rager, right? I don't just mean that in terms of anger, but it just has this giant party, so to say. It has this giant effect on you. If you see a movie with a rager, the house is trashed the next day, right? Emotion mind makes you act impulsively. Unfortunately, people trash their lives when they're too much in emotion mind. The thing is, if we go purely to reasonable mind, if we try to suppress our emotion mind completely and say, I give up on my emotions, they suck, I will not follow them, then we are get into big trouble because that's not how being a human being works. Eventually, we will swing back into emotion mind and the rager will happen again. So what do we do? How do we get out of this pendulum swing? We have to consider both areas of our mind and synthesize the dialectic to bring to the oxymoron together, icy and hot, emotional and thoughtful. We need to bring it together and merge it into wise mind. Martin Luther King Jr. said, people who learn to balance contradictions within themselves become truly powerful. And entering wise mind is a power unlike any other. It will help you stay grounded. It will help you follow both your values, your emotions, and also be thoughtful about the way you do things. It'll help you circumvent some emotional urges. It'll help you validate some emotional urges and allow it to happen in a healthy way. Wise mind is the path forward for all of us. Enough introduction. Let's get to it. So we got to start right here. Here's step one. We got to write out an event. Okay. So I'm going to think of an event that was emotionally charged, and I may not have used wise mind, I may have, right? But it has to be an emotionally charged event where emotion mind is pulling us in and getting us to, lose our cool, getting us to act impulsively, getting us to do things that are not good. Okay, so let's see. I have one from yesterday, and emotion mind definitely had me. Definitely had me. Okay. So if you're one of my clients, you might know this. If not, so thank God me and my wife are, pregnant. And we're going to experience, God willing, soon the birth of our child. So this is a very exciting time. My wife, because of the hormones and because of, being pregnant, carrying a baby, body transforming, having to go to work while all this is happening, and all the other stresses of her individual life and our married life together. She gets emotion, right? And she feels the need for touch and hug, right? You know, a cuddle, so to say. I'm not trying to get TMI, but a cuddle, right? Um, and you know, last night I got home from work. I would say I got home from, oh no, I was working from home yesterday, but work ended very late. And you know, I was pretty tired. And you know, when she came back home, because she comes home in the middle of when I'm working, she she was very upset. A lot of traffic, body discomfort, different things, right? And I was very attuned to her during small breaks I had. I checked in with her. How are you doing? Right? You know, and she was feeling a bit in a mood. Her emotion mind was very strong. I think she was in wise mind though, because she didn't yell. She didn't say anything mean to me. She was very mindful, as the meme goes, very demure. She was very composed, you know, and I knew though deep down she was struggling, and she told me that even too. So, anyhow, I'm giving her support during the day, and we are able to eat for a moment together. We're able to have a little bit of time together. And, you know, at the end of a long night, you know, I'm beat at this point. And you know, not only my professional responsibilities, religious responsibilities, responsibilities to my wife, right? Being attuned to her, I was just at 0%. My battery was dead. And we were laying down, and she says, you know, could you hold me? Right. And I was like, you know, yeah. Right. And I, what's it call it? You know, I hold her, right. And then, you know, she starts touching, right? Nothing inappropriate, but she just starts touching. And I'm very, very sensitive to touch, especially when I'm tired and I'm not in the mood. It's like electricity. Ah! And I didn't do that, right? But I said, can you stop? That just came out of me. Emotion mind broke through, right? And so, you know, that's our event. Can can you stop after getting angry about touch? So I'm pissed, right? I'm annoyed that that happened, you know, and but immediately after I'm feeling regret. So I know I had an emotion mind moment. So let's, instead of blaming, right, we gotta do a little bit of a chain analysis, figure out what happened here. And so what we gotta do is we gotta go through emotion mind. We gotta see what emotion mind was feeling. So I definitely felt anger. And if you go through your emotion regulation handouts, you'll see one of the prompting events for anger is physical pain. I was definitely uncomfortable. So physical discomfort, right? Oops, no quotes. The next thing was I was thinking to myself, isn't it enough that I held you? You know, question mark, exclamation point, right? Like I'm thinking, like I'm doing my best here. Like, can't you just like stop? Right? Remember, I'm at 0% battery. Let's put that there. You know, you know, as the it says pop culture, the amount of F's I can give is zero at this point, 0% battery. I'm really tired, you know? I think 0% battery means tired, but I'll add that too, right? So all this is happening for me. And then it's like, get the hell off me. Me. That's what emotion mine was. What did I say? Get the hell off of me? No, but I raised my voice and I said, please stop, enough. That was my inner voice was saying, get the hell off me. So that's what my emotion mind is in the situation. Now, my reasonable mind didn't kick much in that moment. I felt bad afterwards, but I started thinking about it today. And so I started to think, you know, she needs me now that she's pregnant. Preg. You know, you gotta try to understand her. right? And I'm thinking like, you know, what else am I thinking? If you guys were here, you might help me out. um, I'm just thinking like this is damage to the relationship. Now, thankfully, this isn't something that happens every day. I like to think without tooting my horn, I'm a pretty kind husband. I'm a kind person, right? This happens once in a while, and in couples to disagree, it happens, right? To have a moment, it happens. So, relationship isn't on its way out, right? That would be very scary. But it was damage. It was a scratch, right? If my new watch got scratched, doesn't mean the watch is broken, but I was like, oh no, it did some damage. So emotion mind is saying when you're tired, you need space. Let me add that. What's emotion mind saying? I need space. Let me bold that. That's the action request. So emotion mind is saying, I need space. I need you to please leave me alone. I am so uncomfortable right now. I'm tired. I get up at 4:30 right now because of religious obligations in the Jewish New Year time. I'm like, leave me alone. It's 11 o'clock. Can't. Reasonable mind is saying, right? She needs me now. You got to try to understand. This is damage to relationship. And, in a pure nutshell, it might say, don't make this a big deal. Suck it up, right? That's what it's basically saying. Suck it up. And so, excuse me. Um, and so, right, now we have to go to wise mind. We have to synthesize these two pieces of ourselves. And there's a clear contradiction here. Don't make this a big deal. Make it a big deal. You have needs. Don't worry about your needs. They're contradicting points within us, and we're trying to find balance in them. So let's take a look at that. And let's do this. Okay. So wise mind. Wise mind's got to care about how I feel, and it's got to care about my long-term plans. It's got to care about not doing collateral damage. I'm thinking like you got to let her know nicely that you're not good right now to touch. Maybe I could mention that I can only hold you right now. Please don't touch me back. And by the way, when cooler heads prevailed and I was in wise mind, this is what the solution was. And my wife might have violated it at times because, hands have a way of moving themselves, to be always on top of, everything she does. It's hard. The thing is also, she was also very mindful. So she started to, doing this to my arm. She said, oh, I'm sorry. Right. I'm sorry. I just muscle memory. And so, I think this is the wise mind. This is the wise mind choice right here that I will go with. And I might even mention, if it's cool, right? I might even mention it. I might even mention it today to her. I feel bad about what happened, and I thought about it, and I think maybe if we can kind of revert back to this, especially after hard days when I have no energy, if you could just, I hold you, please don't touch me back. I'm not in the mood, and it bothers me for my own reasons, right? I'm working on them, right? And some things, also are not necessarily, they don't move in a moment. If I wish I could just change it, okay, I don't want to feel that way anymore, right? We would, but maybe this is the compromise. So look here how we took our emotion mind and our reasonable mind and we smushed it together, right? Because in this case, right, like I got my space in somewhat of a way, right? I'm like, please, I can hold you. That's not uncomfortable. You're not touching me back. That's like my space, and I feel okay with that. And then also, she needs me right now. She's pregnant. You got to understand her. This is, lashing out. It's damaging to the relationship. Even not giving her, physical touch. It's damaging. She says her love language is touch. I think a lot of people this is. So I can hold you. Please don't touch me back, right? I need that from you. And, that is probably the most balanced way to go about this. Wise mind doesn't make things perfect. It just gives you the best choice in the situation without having an emotional blowout and without completely cutting yourself off from your feelings, which is doomed because you're going to go right back to your feelings and those feelings are going to come back with a vengeance. So that's it for our our wise mind homework for today. If you have any questions, you can leave it in the comments below. If you're part of InsightDBT, you can reach out to me directly, or or we can review this in group during our group review. This has been Mike, and it's been real. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Stay balanced, stay wise. Bye bye.